Any ads heard during this episode that are not in our voice are placed by third-party agencies. They should not be considered the opinion of or to be endorsed by Hoosier Myths and Legends.
Welcome to another episode of the Hoosier Myths and Legends podcast.
I'm Rebecca Wilhelm.
I'm Mary Quigley.
And I'm Hope Wilhelm.
Join us as we dive into the spookier side of the Hoosier state.
So what comes to your mind when you think of Indiana? Do you think of corn? Do you think of basketball? Do you think of the Indianapolis 500? Maybe you think of famous celebrities who were born in Indiana, like John Mellencamp or Michael Jackson.
But as the saying goes, there is more than corn in Indiana. 92 counties make up the Hoosier state. In this podcast, we are going to discuss some Indiana folklore from each of these counties. If you are into tall tales, ghosts, or spooky legends, then this is a podcast you are not going to want to miss. Today's episode comes from Clay County, Indiana.
Deep in the rural heart of Clay County, Indiana, nestled among cornfields, winding roads, and whispering woods, lies a small church and an old cemetery with a reputation far larger than its size. The Zion United Church of Christ in Poland, Indiana, is known not only for its peaceful countryside setting, but also for unexplained lights, ghostly voices, and a shadowy figure engulfed in fire. Grab your cup of coffee and settle in, because what starts as a sleepy church story quickly becomes a chilling tale of otherworldly encounters.
To be honest, I wasn't familiar with the hauntings here until we started researching for this episode.
I wasn't either, but we had a listener mention this to us at one of our events last year.
Yes, there are some really interesting stories here.
There are, so let's get into it.
Let's start with some background. Zion United Church of Christ is located near Poland, a small unincorporated community in Clay County. If you aren't familiar with the area, it's between Terre Haute and Indianapolis, but a little closer to the Terre Haute side.
The town was settled in the early 1800s, so this part of Indiana was still rugged, rural, and largely undeveloped. Immigrants of German descent made up most of the local population, and it was common at the time their community was centered around a church.
The original Zion Church building likely dates back to the mid to late 1800s, though records are sparse. Over the years, it served as a place of worship, weddings, funerals, and community events. Like many country churches, it was modest, with simple wooden pews, a bell tower, and a quiet cemetery beside it.
The Zion Cemetery is split between the southeast and southwest corners of the nearby intersection, and the oldest gravestones date back to 1840. Many of the names on those reflect the German roots of the people buried there, like Mueller, Schmidt, and Bauer.
Yes, and according to Find a Grave, the cemetery holds hundreds of graves, with some faded beyond legibility because of how old they are.
But it's not just the history that draws attention here. It's what people have experienced when the sun goes down.
Over the last few decades, Zion United Church of Christ Cemetery has become something of a legend in Indiana paranormal circles.
Visitors to the cemetery often report a strong sense of unease that settles over them the moment that they step into the grounds. And some describe an immediate drop in the temperature, even on a warm day.
The creepiest legend we came across was the Flaming Man.
Yes. So this was one that was left on an old message board that really freaked us out. And this person claimed to see a figure engulfed in flames walking in the wooded area behind the cemetery. It was completely silent and vanished when they approached it.
After this person posted, multiple people responded claiming to also have seen this fiery figure. No one knows who he is or why he burns. And some locals say that he's the spirit of a man who was wrongly accused of a crime and burned alive.
But that's not even the most popular spirit there. The most common paranormal experience is that of a benevolent spirit. And this is a ghost who tries to protect visitors from danger.
According to several accounts, travelers heading toward the cemetery at night have seen a figure step into the road and wave them down. Some drivers even say the figure places a hand on their vehicle and whispers, "Turn back." Moments later, when they exit the car to investigate, there's no one there.
Now that's not creepy at all.
I know, and if you look at this location on Google Maps, it's already creepy to begin with.
And then there's the phantom lights and the orbs that flicker between the headstones. Paranormal investigators visiting this site have reported high EMF readings, ghostly whispers caught on EVP, and even growling sounds near the tree line.
One account shared on hauntedplaces.org describes shadow people darting between gravestones and disembodied voices echoing near the church steps.
When we return, we'll hear what some of the locals say about the hauntings.
Are you an Indiana small business owner looking to reach a wider audience?
Consider partnering with the Hoosier Myths and Legends podcast directly to advertise your business.
Our listeners are passionate, engaged, and love supporting local businesses just like yours. By advertising with us, you'll connect directly with a community that values what Indiana has to offer.
Promote your business with the Hoosier Myths and Legends podcast and watch your customer base grow. Ready to make your mark? Contact us today at HoosierMythsandLegends@gmail.com and let's bring your business to the forefront.
We're back.
So what do the locals say about these hauntings?
Well, there's actually a resident who lives across from the cemetery who told investigators that he's seen strange lights over the grounds for years. He's even captured motion on his security cameras when no animals or people were nearby. He describes it as a place that feels heavy, not evil, but thick with something unexplainable in the air.
Another group of amateur paranormal enthusiasts visited this cemetery on Halloween night in 2021, and they brought audio recorders, EMF detectors, and infrared cameras. What they captured was a little bit unsettling. It was a faint growl, a child's laugh, and one whispered word, "Leave."
They also reported seeing a figure watching them from inside the church, even though the building was locked and empty, which I thought was interesting because there are no reported hauntings inside the church that we could find.
No, we didn't find any stories about that. It's the land surrounding it, like the woods and the cemetery itself, that seems to be the most active.
So what could be causing these hauntings?
So there are some theories out there that suggest that it's the land. Paranormal investigators have speculated about ley lines, residual hauntings, or even elemental spirits that are tied to the geography rather than the people.
There's also the theory that the church and cemetery were built on Native American burial ground, but that has never been proven. Most locals say that this is just a rumor started by kids that spread and became part of the local lore.
Whether you believe the stories or chalk them up to imagination, there's one thing that's clear. Zion United Church of Christ in Poland, Indiana leaves an impression. And maybe it's the peaceful setting that hides something darker, or maybe it's just a quiet place where history refuses to rest.
On our next episode, we're going on the road again. This time, we're stopping in Arkansas.
Deep in the swamps of southern Arkansas lurks a creature that is said to stand 8 feet tall, covered in hair and reeking of death, the legendary Falk monster. In our next episode, we explore the chilling encounters that turned a quiet town into ground zero for one of America's most fascinating cryptid legends.
Have you ever had an experience at the Zion United Church of Christ Cemetery? Are you familiar with the hauntings there? We would love to hear about it. Please send us an email to HoosierMythsAndLegends@gmail.com or reach out to us on social media. We may use it in a later episode. In the email, let us know if you wish to remain anonymous.
To see our source material, please visit our website, HoosierMythsAndLegends.com. Hoosier Myths and Legends is a Quigley Productions podcast.
Our theme song was written and recorded by Wet Blanket. The song title is Taxidermy Race Car.
As always, stay spooky.